chord box, also known as a chord diagram or a chord chart, is a simple line picture of the guitar fretboard which shows us which frets we need to put our fingers on and which strings we need to strum in order to play a chord. You'll see guitar chords written down like this on the internet and in books when you're looking for songs to strum. It's a simple, very accessible way to write down guitar chords and to read chords without having to know music notation. The basic template shows us 6 vertical lines. These represent the 6 strings on the guitar. The furthest left is the thickest string. The horizontal lines represent the fret wires. The thickest line at the top, if there is one, represents the nut, and this shows us then that the first fret space is fret number 1. We then start adding black dots to the picture and they tell us which frets and which strings to put our fingers on our fretting hand. So if I see this black dot for this simple C chord, I will put my finger on the first fret, because that's what it's telling us to do, on string B or string number 2. So my finger goes here. Some chord boxes have numbers on these black dots which would tell you which finger to use. So in this case it would have number 1, which would indicate my index finger. Not all of them do. So in that case you would have to experiment or do a little bit of further research and see the common finger combinations that other people use. We still need a little bit more information to complete the picture because we need to know how many strings we need to strum with our picking or strumming hand. So in the case of this A chord, I know from the chart that my fingers need to go on the 2nd fret of the D, the G and the B strings, but we don't only strum those strings. So what we've got here is above this furthest left thick string, we have a little cross, which means don't play the string. Next to it on the A string, we have a little 0, a little circle or O, which means open. So we play the string with our picking hand, but we don't put any frets on the string. So that's what an open string means. So we play the open string, then we have the 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, and again with the final thin E string, we play the open string there as well. Additional things you'll see on chord charts are a black line that spans more than one string. In the case of this F, that means my first finger is pressing down the strings 1 and 2 at the same time, or the E string and B string at the same time. We can do this over more strings. It's called a bar, where in this B minor, my first finger is barring 5 strings and these other 3 fingers are pressing the strings down in between. So this finger bars 5 strings, but it actually only needs to press down the A string or string 5 and the E string or string 1. And then as we go further up the fretboard and leave the nut behind, we have to name the frets to give us our bearings. So if I was to play this F triad here, I know that these fingers are on fret number 5. So we would start the chord box further up the neck, but we need to put a 5 next to that fret, or a 5 FR, 5th fret, next to the 1st fret. So we have our new bearings in place. If you want to write your own chords down, here's a link to a PDF of blank chord templates so you can print those off. Now you understand chord boxes, here's a lesson on the 8 most common chords you should learn to play on guitar.